On the news at 7, Nigerian Muslims set for commencement of Ramadan on Wednesday. Ondo State government announces full judicial financial autonomy. Minority lawmakers stage walkout at House of Representatives. And from the foreign scene, civil rights activist Jesse Jackson dies at 84.
Good evening and a warm welcome to the news. Kunle Auriyo is my name. Across Nigeria, Christians and Muslim faithful are normally united in preparation for the sacred convergence of Lent and Ramadan, a profound spiritual symphony blending 40 days of prayer, dawn to sunset fasting, deep repentance, unwavering devotion and selfless charity, all culminating in the joyous triumphs of Easter and the Filtry. As both seasons draw near, religious leaders and residents are reflecting on the spiritual and national significance of this moment. Adeomi Taiwo reports.
As the days draw closer to the commencement of Lent and Ramadan, a calm but profound spiritual consciousness is gradually building across communities in Akure. For many faithful, this is more than a date on the religious calendar. It is a sacred appointment, a time set aside for reflection, sacrifice, repentance, and renewed commitment to God. The overlap of these two important seasons highlights Nigeria's deep religious diversity and the shared values that unite millions of believers across faith lines. Speaking on the significance of Lent, a church apostle, Bamidele Lawal, described the season a time of spiritual renewal and national reflection. He added that when Lent and Ramadan cross paths, it reminds us that both faiths value discipline, compassion, and charity.
Gbogbo onígbàgbọ́, gbogbo àwa Kìrìsìtẹ́nì, gbogbo àwọn ọmọlẹ́yìn láti ń gbáradì fún àwẹ̀ náà. Ló tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé nítòótọ́ àwẹ̀ yẹn bọ́ síra lọ́dún yìí. Ó máa ń rí bẹ́ẹ̀ kì í ṣe àkọ́kọ́ lélẹ́yìí. Ó ti bọ́ sí àwọn àkókò torí pé ó jẹ́ ètò Ọlọ́run, ó jẹ́ àsìkò tí Ọlọ́run fẹ́ kí àjọ darapọ̀ láti gba àwẹ̀ yẹn. Ètò yà mí lẹ́nu jù gan lọ́dún yìí ni wípé àwẹ̀ yẹn bọ́ sí ọjọ́ kan ní àwẹ̀ yẹn ti Muslim àti ti Christian ló gbéra sọ. Ṣùgbọ́n n tí mo rí ni wípé ètò Ọlọ́run ni ó wá yẹ ká ọjọ́ tún fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ láti gba àwẹ̀ yẹn. Kìrìsìtẹ́nì ni Mùsùlùmí ni a nílò láti ọjọ́ fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ láti gba àwẹ̀ yẹn.
Also speaking on approaching Ramadan, Islamic scholar Alhaji Shehu Bello described the holy month a time of purification and increased devotion. He further noted that the closeness of Lent and Ramadan sends a powerful message.
There are uncountable benefits from fasting in those either Lent or Ramadan. It's a month of repent. That time, that period is for the somebody that is fasting to abstain, to shun off whatever is impurity. And it's time of forgiveness. Let us follow our doctrine in the Bible and the Quran. We should not look or we should not charge for anything that is impure.
People from both Muslim and Christian communities share mutual support and admiration during overlapping Lent and Ramadan fasts. They expressed hope that the sacred seasons would inspire positive change.
Fasting is priority for Christians because it gives us, and that is where we can communicate our hope. So, as for me, I'm ready and I'm prepared to fast, and I pray that God will bless me. This month is blessing month. Allow all of us to start together and finish together, inshallah.
Àwọn Muslim àti Christian nígbà àdúrà náà ní látọ̀dọ̀ náà pé gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ ìjọba káàdì àwọn àdúrà kò tẹ̀ sí ìkan tó di wa lọ́wọ́ láti ká má gbà wò ìgbà tó tẹ̀sí ká lọ́wọ́ àfikúnra wa ní ìjà mi gan ni gbogbo tó yẹ ká máa fẹnu sọ nísọkúsọ àfikúnra wa ní ìjẹ̀lú àdìsọ.
Beyond fasting and prayer, Lent and Ramadan present a moment for reflection on shared values and a renewed commitment to unity and compassion. Adewumi Taiwo, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia has officially announced the sighting of the crescent moon, marking the beginning of Ramadan 1447, with the Hilal confirmed. The holy month of Ramadan will begin on Wednesday, while Taraweeh prayers will be held after the Isha prayer tonight. Muslims in Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, and some other parts of the world will begin their first day of fasting at dawn tomorrow, ushering in a month dedicated to prayer, reflection, and devotion. Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar, which has 12 months and lasts 354 or 355 days. In Nigeria's democratic framework, the Constitution clearly separates powers among the three arms of government to prevent overlap and totalitarianism. Funding, a key success factor for the three arms, has long been inadequate for the judiciary, thereby slowing down justice. The Attorney General of North State and Commissioner for Justice, Kayode Ajulo, announced that the state judiciary has now achieved full financial autonomy. Tulokbe Oyebode has details.
Government exists to protect vulnerable citizens from exploitation, a duty shared by the executive, legislature, and judiciary. For years, the lack of financial independence of state judiciary has sparked debates, strikes, and litigation by the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, JISN. A departure from the 1999 Constitution, as amended, which guarantees judicial financial autonomy. Section 121, subsection 3 states that any amount standing to the credit of the judiciary in the state's consolidated revenue fund shall be paid directly to the heads of the courts. The Fourth Alteration Act of 2017 reinforces this, making such funds a first-line charge, free from executive interference. Also, courts have repeatedly ruled that piecemeal allocations through state ministries of finance are unconstitutional, null and void.
There are so many ways that this issue of lack of financial autonomy would in fact it will affect recruitment. Let's assume we need 17 magistrates, but when you look at your budget, you look at your income and your allocation, you look at all you know that you can't take 1 and 2, so you just appoint 2, thereby you are burdening the 2. Then also you talk about vehicles, welfare. Normally they should have moderate allowance.
The state judiciary recently ground to a halt as magistrates and customary court presidents withdrew services demanding full financial autonomy.
I like to liken the judicial institution to what you call the fiat currency, and so its value lies in the faith that is reposed in it. Just like the fiat currency, the judiciary is worth as much as the faith that the people vest in it.
Without judiciary, there will be chaos in the states. So the government should listen to them and please help them to alleviate what they are saying. Give them the autonomy. What belongs to you, do it, give it to them. Let them spend the money they want. We have, after all, they don't have immunity like the governor and the deputy. So if anybody misbehaves in the front of the judiciary, then they could be punished.
That appears to be a thing of the past, as Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Kayode Ajulo confirmed that Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has approved full autonomy for Ondo State's judiciary.
Today, Nigeria does still happen to be a country state where there is a full autonomy of judiciary. It happened during the time of the first administration. The last time from the 20th, at least in the history of the state, as the judiciary has been for the past 15 years. This will be the first time.
Gone are the days where the CJ will carry file to the governor to sign. That one we don't have that one in the state, and that's kudos to the governor of the state. Governor Promisari, that's wrong.
This breakthrough positions the courts for more effective and efficient justice dispensation. Tolulope Oyebode, Osrc News.
The president of Nigerian Bar Association, Afam Osigwe, has hosted the president of the Court of Economic Community of West African State, Justice Ricardo Gokaus, at the NMA National Secretariat in Abuja. The ECOWAS Court president was accompanied by other judges of the regional court and senior registry officials joining the high-level engagement, which focused primarily on improving member state compliance with the court decisions. Osigwe said the visit was timely, noting that it centered on a matter fundamental to the survival and credibility of judicial institutions. The MBA president assured the regional court of the association's readiness to collaborate on a practical and sustainable mechanism to strengthen compliance and deepen respect for the court authority across West Africa. Justice Gokaus emphasized that collaboration among the judiciary, the bar, the executive arm of government and civil society is indispensable to resolving enforcement challenges. We'll take a break now. When we'll come back, we'll give you more stories. Please do stay with us. Complex 720 on our website www.osrc.ng, or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. Following an encroachment on the Secretariat of the All Progressives Congress (APC) Ondo State Secretariat in Akure, the party has clarified that it was an isolated case and unrelated to upcoming party congress. According to the Director of Media and Publicity, Steve Otaloro, preliminary findings suggested that the disturbance stemmed from an internal misunderstanding aggravated by a scrupulous element, which prompted the party to initiate an internal review for the purpose of taking appropriate measures based on verified findings. The party remarked Governor Loki Aiyedatiwa's swift intervention by directing security personnel to restore order appropriately. The Ondo State APC chapter urged members and the public to disregard unfounded narratives aimed at creating tension or tarnishing the party's image. It said the party remained steadfast in its commitment to internal democracy, peace, and progress. The Senate has passed the Electoral Act 2022 Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2026 following tense deliberations and a continuous debate over Clause 60. Before rescinding the Electoral Act, senators raised concerns over the timing of the 2027 general elections and technical inconsistencies in the legislation. Senate leader Okwe Mamdele noted that stakeholders raised concerns that the proposed election date conflicted with the law's requirement that elections be scheduled at least 360 days before the expiration of tenure as stipulated in the Clause 28. He added that elections during Ramadan could affect voter turnout, logistics, stakeholders' participation, and the overall inclusiveness and credibility of the process. Meanwhile, minority members of the House of Representatives have staged a dramatic walkout from the plenary in protest against the passage of key provisions of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2025, accusing the majority of pushing partisan interests ahead of electoral integrity. The protest followed the adoption of Clause 60, subsection 3, which provides for both real-time electronic transmission and manual transmission of election results, as well as Clause 84, which subscribes modules of candidate nomination by political parties. The House had earlier rescinded its December 2025 passage of the amendment bill to address identified inconsistencies before recommending it to the Committee of the Whole for clause-by-clause consideration. Despite the protest and walkout, the House proceeded with the amendment, setting the stage for what is expected to be intense political debate as the country inches closer to the 2027 general elections. The latest development underscores deep divisions within the Green Chamber over the direction of Nigeria's electoral reforms, with the minority vowing to continue mobilizing public opinion against provisions they believe could undermine transparency and internal party democracy. The Federal Ministry of Health has ordered an immediate disengagement of directors who have spent at least 8 years in the directorate cadre with immediate effect. The directors affected include those in the ministry, federal hospitals, agencies, among others. The federal government had directed all ministries, departments, and agencies to enforce the 8-year tenure limit for directors and permanent secretaries, following a new deadline set through the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation. Former Head of Civil Service of the Federation, Folashade Yemieson, announced the commencement of the revised public service rules in July 2023. Remains of late Mrs. Keketobo Jane Kuku will be laid to rest on Saturday at Arobo in the local government area of Ondo State. According to funeral arrangement, there will be a social wake-keep in Akure on Thursday, the 19th February. The body will depart Akure for Arobo on Friday, where a Christian wake will take place. Burial service is slated for First African Church Mission, Egbesu Biri, Arobo on Saturday. Aged 90, Mrs. Kuku Keketobo is survived by 5 children, including former special advisor to the president on Niger Delta, Kisley Kuku, and Owe Kuku. And straight to sport, the original FIFA Cup trophy has arrived Bogota as part of global tour ahead of the 2026 tournament, which will be hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Fans lined up for emotional clips of the iconic prize, which stands just 36 centimeters tall and weighs a little above 6 kilos of solid gold. The exhibition features interactive rooms recreating legendary World Cup moment, designed to bring supporters closer to football's ultimate dream. For Colombia, which has never won the trophy, the visit has reignited hope and national pride. Akitunde Akinshemola tells us more.
It stands just 36 centimeters tall and weighs a little over 6 kilograms of solid gold. Its true weight cannot be measured. It carries the hope of millions of people. The original World Cup trophy arrived in Colombia's capital, Bogota, as part of a tour ahead of the 2026 tournament, which will be hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico. For fans lining see it up close is emotional.
It represents the dream of a nation. We keep fighting every 4 years with the same hope.
Every 4 years, the cup represents a unique feeling. I hope that one day I can see it live and in person.
I felt like I got goosebumps because I love football and I want my national team to win.
Beyond the opportunity, fans walk through interactive room recreating iconic moments of the competition, from the legendary footballs to immersive experiences designed to make visitors feel being inside a World Cup stadium. Few understand the transformation better than former French World Cup winner David Trezeguet, who lifted the trophy in 1998.
Today I'm more aware than ever that it was the most important trophy of my life, of my career. It's the most meaningful one. Not many players or even entire generations get the chance to win this title. I was fortunate enough to do it, and for me it remains a dream fulfilled.
The trophy tour will visit dozens of cities worldwide, building anticipation for a tournament that promises to unite 3 nations and billions of viewers. For Colombia, the dream remains unfinished, but seeing the prize up close only fuels belief. For the champions, it's a memory sealed in gold. For everyone else, it's a dream that returns every 4 years. Akintunde Akinshibola for Osrc News.
Veteran US civil rights activist Reverend Jesse Jackson has died at the age of 84. His family said Jesse Jackson's unwavering belief in justice, equality and love uplifted millions. They asked that the departed civil rights leader be honored by continuing the fight for the values he lived by. President Donald Trump and other world leaders have paid their tribute to the departed octogenarian. And with that story, we have come to the end of the bulletin, but before we go, we'll take another look at the main point. We informed you that Muslims across Nigeria will begin fasting in accordance with Ramadan 1447 tomorrow. This follows the sighting of the Christian for the holy month in Saudi Arabia, and as announced by the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. We also informed you that the Ondo State Judiciary has gained full judicial financial autonomy, ending a lingering dispute with the executive. Also, we told you that minority members of the House of Representatives have staged a dramatic walkout from plenary in protest against key provisions in the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2025. And from the foreign scene, we informed you that American rights activist Reverend Jesse Jackson has died at the age of 84. And that's it on the news tonight. Well, thank you for being a part of it. Good evening.